With the existence of Pandarans being hinted at here and there through quest lines, is the Cataclysm shaking up the world as it is going to bring them into the light anymore? Are they still going to be secluded away? I'm not asking for them as a playable race, but maybe as a neutral race we'll see?
I don't see them flying out of the cracks in the earth, if that's what you're saying. But we'll see. I mean, Pandaran are a super cool race, awesome concept, and maybe it's something that we'll be able to see more of in the future.
I just meant like their home is on some secluded island. Is maybe like the goblins, their island was destroyed. Maybe the Pandarans suffered a similar fate, or sending them out, some of their members out into the world.
We'll have to see.
We'll see.
Engineers represent. As an engineer, I like that minivan idea earlier, but your other profession would have to be herbalism. But my real question was in terms of voice acting. I noticed that I missed Metzon's not on the panel. I was wondering why it's easy to really like voice acting because like every new major character sounds like Thrall. I was wondering if you guys would be willing to open up auditions, because I think a lot of your players would like to put their voices in the game somehow, someplace.
Definitely is actually not Metzon.
Oh, it sounds like Thrall. Maybe like Varian's Thrall, and the first guy in Forge of Souls is Thrall.
That he is. That he is. We have a process, believe it or not, and we adhere to that process. We have a lot of very talented actors and actresses, not just Chris, although he has a lovely voice. And so, yeah, we'll keep doing VO.
Yeah, it's great. I wanted to preserve the authenticity of Thrall's voice. I just want to say that maybe for like a few extra characters on the side, maybe a contest every once in a while,
That could be cool. Never know.
All right, thank you.
Thanks.
Actually, did we use Metzon's voice for any voice in Cataclysm? I don't think we did.
Metzon's back for a few.
Okay.
A few dozen.
Hi, I'm Anastasia, and I'm an altaholic. I am desperate for another character slot. I've got 10 characters. They're going to be 80 by the time Cataclysm comes out. Give us some more room, please.
Do you need 12 of them for your 12-step program?
That's what I need, yeah.
Well, I can offer you another 10 slots for $15 a month.
Our server's our home. Don't want to lose our home.
It is something that we've talked about. It's just, right now, it's not looking like something that we're going to do. That doesn't mean that we would never do it in the future, but we'll have to wait and see.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, I play a warlock named Tacitus, and I had a question regarding reforging. I noticed that in our class, the dual spec, we have mastery, which is good for destruction, and then affliction, haste is good. So would we be penalized by having to reforge every time we want to switch our specs?
So the gear question is an interesting one because we like dual spec, obviously, and we want players to be able to switch. We don't want to make it too easy to be able to get one set of gear and to use it for everything in the game. That kind of defeats part of the purpose of like trying to get more gear. So, the answer without reforging is you get one set of gear for spec A and a different set of gear for spec B. It's a problem if mastery is like dramatically better for, say, affliction than Destro or whatever, and that's just something we'll have to keep working on as we go forward. Reforging is huge. Like, we kind of added that as a small feature early on, and it got bigger and bigger, and we kind of realized what it was going to do to the game. I think we're probably still underestimating what a big impact that's going to have. So we'll just have to see how Reforging evolves. But I think it's going to be one of those like small stealth things that got into Cataclysm and ends up really changing the game, at least for hardcore among us.
Thank you.
My question is regarding to Cataclysm rating. What it would be the incentive to do a 25-man when all of the gear in 25 and 10-man is exactly the same, other than more justice points, because why would you do something that's harder if you can get the exact same thing?
Something you might enjoy more. And I think the jury's still out on harder. It's something we're really focusing on to try to get those two balanced, and certainly is a daunting task, but we're working on it.
Thank you.
Hey, I'm Jespar from Blades Edge. My question is, I have a lot of friends who are low levels, so are you guys planning anything so me as a high level can raid, or not raid, quest with low levels, and them not get benefit, them not be penalized in any way, like experience penalties?
Well, it is one of our philosophies that we want people to be able to play together whenever possible, and we try and lower those barriers wherever we can. We've talked about systems like sidekicking systems, that kind of stuff, to where they could, temporarily play at a higher level, or you could temporarily level down to their level essentially, so you could group up and do a dungeon together, and your character would behave more like at a level appropriate level. So, for example, let's say you're level 80 and they're level 30, you could go do Scarlet Monastery together, and your character would play like level 30, but you would actually get experience that's relevant to you at level 80 or whatever. So it's something that we'd like to do in the future. It's just not something that we've had time to do yet.
Thank you.
Hi guys, my question is, people love legendaries. They love the way they look, and they definitely want them to last longer. Would there be any way that we could trade them in for a heirloom version so that you could level up with them on an alt?
That would be pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Be pretty awesome. Yeah. At the same time, it gets a little bit dangerous in terms of really encouraging players to go back and farm old content for legendaries. We heard the other person that was just talking about whether or not they'd be able to keep farming for their warglaives. And that's cool when you do it just for its own sake and because you feel like it's fun. But if you feel like, oh, well, I really need to do this to be competitive in my level 29 battleground or whatever, that's when it starts to get a little bit sketchy.
Thanks.
I'm Raging Dawn of Measure of Faith on the Erie Peak. And I'd like to know, for all of us collectors, when are we going to get a tab for our tabards?
We'd actually like to do it. It was in our plans early on. One of the reasons we didn't do it yet is because we have clickable on-use tabards. We wanted to have a drop-down, kind of like you have for titles, and you can just pick whichever one you want. We just have to solve the, how do you actually do the on-use thing at that point.
Thanks.
Hi, I've just been noticing that over Burning Crusade and Wrath of the Lich King, you did such a good job of incorporating most of the races into the activities that were happening at the time and into the lore, but the Draenei still seem stuck on their little isle over there and play almost no role throughout the entirety of Wrath of the Lich King and even into Cataclysm. Any plans to bring them out?
You're right. You're absolutely right. I think we've done a poor job of incorporating the Draenei into the WoW culture. It's something we're certainly working on, and it's better in Cataclysm, but it's not 100% there.
Thank you.
Hi. First of all, I want to say hello to my guild. Grande Concordia Dracari, Grande Sednar. And now? Yeah. And now my question about the balance between the number of Horde characters and Alliance characters, because I'm on a PvP server, and now that I'll have to level up all my characters, it's gonna be like 20 Alliance fighting against 100 Horde, and it's gonna be pretty hard.
Yeah, that comes down to that battle cry. We just need a better battle cry for the Alliance. Bolster their numbers. It definitely is a problem. It's interesting that we've seen this cultural shift in PvP towards a lot of people that are interested in PvP gravitating toward the Horde. A lot of it's just kind of all the mythos and all the just the psychology of the coolness of the horde or whatever. Really, making the Alliance feel proud to be Alliance is important, and making sure that we build up the Alliance as an awesome, opposition force to the Horde is going to be important to solve those things in the long run. I don't think we would want to take any really heavy-handed gameplay incentives, like we're not going to, make you more powerful if you play the Alliance or something like that. But we'll have to do a lot of little things.
Thanks.
Hey guys, this is Gautam from Burning Blade, and I have a question for all of us theory crafters. Could you make the heroic training dummy more interactive, such as you can change the stats, or you can throw up a timer, or an in-game recount, just something that we can make it more interactive and helpful for us?
Cool ideas for sure. We'd definitely like to do more with the dummies. It's just a question of priority and time.